everybody. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what, this thing has been nothing but trouble for me, as you all already know, and I've had it. I have had it. So as soon as we think we get it figured out, and as soon as we think we get it fixed, it causes problems again. So, um, yeah, I'm just going to do it this way with no facing camera for today. And we'll just get right to our Think Tank Thursday with the downward facing camera. So I see Miss Dawn has found us. Thank you so much, darling, for coming back. I to say that I am not technologically inclined has been the most egregious of understatements. And we've been working through a lot of things, and some things looked like they would work perfectly fine and were working in the studio part itself. And then as soon as I went live, it started getting crazy. So, um, yeah, anyway, so we're not going to worry about that. We are just going to get right on to it. And let me know if you can hear me okay and you're able to see the screen all right. And we'll go ahead and get started. And technology will not get us down. So this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, I see folks are coming in. When you do, be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're from. And feel free to share this if you're so inclined to bring others into the fold. Okay, well, I have some fun things to share with you today. I was able to do a little pre order for some upcoming online exclusive products. And I was really behaving myself. I'm so proud because in July, we are going to be having bonus days again. Yay! Bonus days are super exciting because you get a $5 coupon code with every $50 you purchase from Stampin' Up! In July. So for the month of July, you place your orders, you collect your $5 coupon codes, and you can collect as many as you want. There's no limit to it. Of course, only limited by your pocketbook. And then in August, you get to redeem those coupon codes for product. So you get $5 worth of product free every $50 that you spend in July. Okay, so I wanted to put just a little pre-order in because I really wanted to get this stamp and die bundle and play with it a little bit, and it just came in, so I thought that we would work on it together. So okay, this is called Changing Leaves. It is a stamp, die, and hybrid embossing folder bundle. Hi, Miss Sherry. How's it going, darling? And so a lot of fun with these things. The hybrid folders are really popular and so much fun to work with. So you can see the Changing Leaves stamp set here. You're amazing in every single way. I couldn't have done it without you. Here for you. Thank you. A little note to brighten your day. Super, super adorable sentiments. Plus, you have these gorgeous leaves as well. It's a photopolymer stamp set, which makes it really fun because if you wanted, you could create masks with these and you could layer over it real easily. It would be so pretty. And then you have the coordinating dies, which have some super cute labels, as you can see, stitched labels. We've got a couple of detailed die cuts for leaves, some little sprigs and leaf clusters here. And then this one coordinates with the hybrid embossing folder. So the embossing folder is absolutely gorgeous all by itself. Let me get the light reflecting off of it. There we go. But when you put the die in there with it, you get something else entirely, and it is absolutely incredible. Now, when you're using the hybrid embossing folders, hi, Miss Deb, how are you? You want to focus on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo, and that's the raised up side, or not the raised up side, the debossed side. And this is the side that has the little edges around the embossing. So this is the side that you want to put the little die in, and you can feel it kind of click into place. It doesn't actually make a clicking sound, but it will sit in there perfectly, and you can see I can't move it around. Miss Monica, how are you, darling? I just saw you today. Miss Monica did a Facebook Live and made some absolutely gorgeous cards. All right, so I've got my die in here, and then the next thing that you would do is simply put your piece of paper in, close it up, and then run it through the embossing folder, or run it through the Big Shot machine. Let's see how that works, okay? Now, my little camera here is kind of pitiful, so I'm going to move my machine over to the side just a little bit. For this type of embossing folder, it's considered a 3D embossing folder, and that means that you're going to use the platform and the number 4 gray pad to run it through the machine, okay? So I'm going to do that. And then stick it in here and just wait until you see how absolutely gorgeous this thing is. I'm going to try really hard not to bounce things around too much. Miss Donna, hello. How are you? Okay, so I'm going kind of slow in here just because I want to try to keep from jiggling the camera any more than I have to. Technological issues have prevented the original stand situation. So we're not going to bother with it. We're not going to worry about it. We are going to keep trucking. All right, so here we go. Are you ready for the magic? I know you are. Okay, I am doing good, Miss Donna. We are looking at some brand new stuff that's coming up in the online exclusives collection early in the month, next month. All right, I've pulled this off, and look at this detail. So pretty. How gorgeous is that? Now, can you see all of that beautiful veining and detail in each of those little die cuts? Right? Very nice. And then, of course, you also have this piece as well. And you can see it's got the embossed leaves all around it. Very cool. I'll set this off to the side. And let's see here. Where is my... right here. We'll see if the white was probably not the best option, but there you go. You can see that embossing in there. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, it really is, Donna. It is super nice. And I am in love with the hybrid embossing folders. They're my new favorite thing because I absolutely love the concept of embossing and die cutting at the same time. Not only is it such a time saver, but you don't have to worry about lining things up very well. You just put it in there, lay the paper down, and it does both at the same time. It is wonderful. Okay, now then, we get to the think tank part. So for those who have not joined us before, Think Tank Thursday is a little bit different than a standard Facebook Live or YouTube Live, depending on where you're watching me from, because in this session, we designed the project together. So get your thinking caps on and get ready to start designing a beautiful project. I have already cut out one of each of the new in colors. Okay, so we have the new in colors to work with, and I've got a couple of white pieces too because I have a little bit of an idea of something that I'd like to try, but we'll see how the evening goes. Okay. All right. All that to say that we can cut these little pieces out if we want to, and that I have a set of the 3 die cuts for each of the colors. All right. So bear that in mind as we get started here. The first thing that I was thinking that I might want to do, I do an in color club. And when I put the kits together, I like to be able to put a card in each one of the packages. And I love doing monochromatic with that month's color for each person. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score this piece of paper at 4 1/4, and then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. So this is going to give me 2 thick basic white card bases, and each of them are 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and they're scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so it's a standard card base. Let me set that off to the side. I'll set that one off. And of course, we want to get our bone folder out so that we can burnish those lines down really good and crisp. We want our card to look really nice. Okay. And then I have this piece here, and already I really like that. I really like that. But let's see what we can do with some color, shall we? What if we take, this is the beautiful Petunia Pop, and we can just put, let's see, maybe some ribbon around this piece. Okay. Now you guys are going to have to let me know. All right, here's your first choice, your first decision. Okay, without knowing anything else, and assuming that we'll go ahead and pop this piece up, do we want to tie a knot or do we want to tie a bow here? Okay, knot or bow. That's our first decision of the evening. And while you're deciding, I'm going to go ahead and put some dimensionals on the back of this piece. All right. Here we go. Do you guys find the backings of your dimensionals all over the place? If I don't spread the dimensional backings, my dogs do. True story. I find them everywhere. Even when I think I'm being super careful, I still find them everywhere. All right, I've got one bow, one knot, so I'm looking for a tiebreaker. Okay, here we go. It's hard to decide when you don't even know what we're going to do with the rest of it, huh? This is the fun of creating on the fly. So, all right. Mom says bow. All right, it's a bow then. She's doing that because she just wants to see me make a bow again, huh? All right, so I'm going to make my bow here. Mama Betty was the tiebreaker. She betrayed you. Well, you know. All right. There we go. Now we will fiddle with this a little bit more here in a bit, but I'm going to go ahead and trim this. Try to trim it better so that way we can put it together. Now, no worries, that bow's a little rough right now, but it will be beautiful. So let's go ahead and attach this piece down. And I think I would really like to be able to put a little bit of maybe a glue dot right there behind it, just to keep the ribbon from going anywhere, since we're putting the whole thing up on dimensionals. I think that would be a good idea. So let me grab a glue dot here. And we're just tucking it right underneath the edge there. It is literally just a placeholder to keep our ribbon from sliding up and down the paper, okay? All right, make sure we've got the card going the right direction. All right, and woo, you're crooked. Hold on, Betty, hold on. Woo, goodness. All right, let me try this again. There, nope. Come on. There we go. All right, there we got it. Okay, now we're good. All right, so far so good, folks. We're doing a great job. Okay, now we have this leaf here. We have this leaf here. We have this leaf here. And we can do whatever we want. We can do whatever we want with this. Do we want to use all three of the leaves and make a cluster? Do we want to just use the one big leaf? Do we want to use maybe the two smaller ones? Maybe not like that. That kind of looks weird. Or maybe just one of the small ones. And we also have our labels to choose too. Let me grab them out. Okay. So we have choices here. Let me come down. There we go. Come down into the shot a little bit better. We've got choices. All right. So what if we did this one and this, or we could do this, or we could do this, or flip it around and do that. What do we think? Do we like the bigger piece as opposed to the little ones? Maybe let's start with that. So, big piece or other pieces? And FYI, I do have the supplies to make another one, so we can totally try out another layout too. That'll be fun. I'm kind of thinking. Sherry says the two little ones. So something like this. What about that? And Dawn says the big one. Oh, goodness, you girls. All right, so maybe there's the little ones, and here's the big one. You girls are terrible tonight. Okay, tiebreaker, please. What do y'all think? This one? Or we could do it like, I don't know. We could do it like that. That's kind of cool. Or like that. Or lots of choices on this one, isn't there? We need a tiebreaker. Oh, she'll let Dawn have this one. That's good. That's good. Okay, so that being said, how do we feel about this right here. Kind of like, and I could cut the tip of that tail off. Maybe it's a little bit too long, or do we like it to be kind of tucked a little? Where's my card? There we go. Maybe like that. How's that? Okay. And we can still move the bow to the other side. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just going to bend my card a little. Oh, and I put the glue dot down, so ha ha ha, joke's on me. That's not happening. That's okay. This is good. I like this. I think that's pretty. Or should it be in the middle? So let's say to the side or to the middle. Okay, you decide. To the side or to the middle. Tucked low and sentiment low. Yep, okay. Gotcha. All right, I'm going to grab my multi-purpose liquid glue and just put, now don't be doing that. You know what happened? I left my glue lid off again last night because I'm awful, and it kind of clogged up a little bit. So have you ever done that? Have you accidentally forgot your glue because you put it in a little holder, you know, something like this? And see, I put the lid down in the bottom to keep it from leaking into my holder, but I usually just kind of set it like that, right? So it's ready to go. And then I forget that it's not closed. And oopsie. You know, it's okay. All right. So there's the flower. Make sure it's just slightly within that range of the card base. There we go. Okay, now, sentiment time. You are amazing in every single way, and a little note to brighten your day. We can do this little note for the front, and then you are amazing for the inside, or we can do one or the other of these and do maybe a stamped sprig or something. So, which sentiment should we put on the outside label? It's going to have to be one of these two, though, because that's what fits. So, there we go. You are amazing, or a little note. You are amazing, or a little note. A little note on the front. Okay. I am so excited to be using these stamps because, like I said, I just got them. So I have not even put ink to them yet. All right. Now then, let me come down here with it so I can try to line it up. Okay. I don't know how straight that is, but we shall see. All right. Are we stamping this in Memento black ink, or are we stamping it in Petunia Pop? So Memento or Petunia Pop. Okay. Tell me which one you would choose, Memento or Petunia Pop. Okay, Petunia Pop. All right. Oh, you guys are unanimous on that one. Well done. Okay. All right. Now, this is a photopolymer stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Pierce mat. just to make sure that it inks up properly. Hi, Miss Tandra. How are you, darling? All right. When you are inking up your stamp, you hear me say it all the time. Tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. That way you're not getting too much ink on your stamp. You're not overbearing the poor thing with ink. And then press straight down, nice and firm. You don't need to rock and roll it. You don't need to wiggle and jiggle it. You just press it straight down and then lift it straight up. And then you have a nicely stamped sentiment. Okay? All right, guys. Are you ready for the next question? Do we want the label on dimensionals down at the bottom or up at the top? Down at the bottom or up at the top? And while you're deciding that, I'm going to go ahead and put it on dimensionals because I am going to make the executive decision on that one. I think dimensionals is the best call for this one. So top or bottom? There's the bottom. And there's the top. Bottom. Yes, I agree, Dawn. Very good. Okay. So, Miss Tandra, how are you today, darling? Oh, you're good. Very, very good. Where are you at again, darling? I know this. I know this. I'm so sorry. All right, let's put that right about. Let me hold this up to make sure I'm straight. Okay, very good. All right, let me retry this bow. And I guess now is a good time. We could have tried to move it over, but I really think that this side was the side to go with. Okay. Now, if you don't know this trick, I'm going to show you a trick. And if you don't have these in your paper crafting arsenal, you need them. Do you have trouble tying bows? You need reverse tweezers because they are like having a third hand. How many times do you ask somebody to put their finger right there, right? So I'm taking my reverse tweezers and I'm holding it down. I can let it go. It's holding it for me. Southern California. That's what I was thinking. You were in California, but I didn't want to presume and then be wrong. It was hotter than hot yesterday, but today, here in East Tennessee anyway, but today wasn't awful. It wasn't too bad. Yesterday was nasty awful. It was so bad. I think do you guys get the humidity there too since you're at the coast, or I would think you might, but now look, I can fiddle with this all I want to and take all the time in the world to do this bow because my little tweezers are keeping their finger right there in the middle for me until I'm ready to lift them up. So I'm going to go this way and just fiddle with it till I get it how I want it. And then I'll give a little tug for the back side to tighten it up and then release my tweezers. And there we go. Fabulous, right? Okay. 84 degrees for about, oh my gosh, 84 degrees. Tandra, darling, we're in the 90s now at this point. We were, I think, 86 today, and I was thinking that was pretty nice. So that tells you something. Yeah, it's a little icky here today. Or not today, yesterday. Now, I cut that wonky, so let me just take my snips and give it a better snip. There we go. Oof. All right, that's nice. Okay, now, what do we always say, folks? No naked insides and no naked envelopes. So I'm going to grab an envelope right quick. I've got one. We've got one right here. Over your heat threshold. Yes, darling. Oh, Dawn. She's bragging on it now. Hi, Miss Laura. How are you? Is it raining at least, Dawn, or are you just bragging about how fabulous your weather is today? 69 would be amazing. I always say my absolute favorite, if I could choose whatever weather I wanted, it would be sunny and 65 to 75 all year long. And I stand by that. Miss Laura, it is 90 degrees in Maine and humid. Oh, darling, you're getting some of our weather, aren't you? Ugh. Uh, yeah, I totally think we need to go visit Don Cherry. Oh dear. Okay, now, for the inside of this card, we have options, but I'm thinking that we could just use this stamp since it matches the one that we decided to use here. And that if we do it with Petunia Pop, we can stamp it a little bit on the inside and on our envelope. So I'm hoping that you girls are agreeable to that. I will go ahead and set it up on a block. As you can see, it takes one of the bigger E blocks. There we go. And when I'm using one of these bigger blocks, I find that it's easier to put the stamp face up and ink it up this way. Tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush again. And you won't get too much on your block. Now, once again, this is a photopolymer stamp. So I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat, but I'm also going to cover some of this up, I think, right? Because I don't want all of that stuff. So the first thing, let's see, I'm going to turn my card inside out and fold it over. No, I'm not. I'm going to take this piece, and the front of the card is here. I'm going to bring this edge over and line up my seam so that way I have a nice clean base. Okay. Darling, I don't need to come and take it home because it's still here too. It was a little bit cooler today, meaning mid 80s, I think. But yeah, it's been kind of vile. All right, now we're going to just add a bit of pressure here. And there we go. Now I'm going to set that off to the side, and it's actually going to get lighter as it gets dry. So we're not going to worry about how deep it is. 90 and humid in Indianapolis. Oh my goodness. What's going on with you folks up there? Holy cow. Well, I tell you what, I don't mind sharing our summer as long as y'all don't share your winter. Okay? That's just all I'm saying about that. I'll be like Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that. All right, now I'm going to take this one and just kind of line it up how I want to. Beautiful. And then again, little tap. Is it humid? Yeah. Yeah. Miss Tondra, I'm not sure. I need to look. I don't think we fall below like 40% humidity ever. 30% maybe. But in the summertime, we're up at 80, 85% humidity. It's nasty out here. It's just nasty. That's all there is to it. I don't like it. I like the spring and I like the fall. And I don't mind the summers not being so hot, but I tell you what, I do not like that humidity. I do not like it, Sam. I am. All right. Now, we have got a beautiful envelope and we have got a beautiful flower inside. We can indeed still add a sentiment to the inside. So now I'm going to ask y'all if, there we go. There's the sentiments. Okay. So, what sentiment, if any, do we want a sentiment for the inside or do we want to leave it blank? And if we want a sentiment, which sentiment do we want to use? Okay. So y'all tell me which one you want to use, if you want one, or just say none. And we'll go on. Okay. You'd be 1,000% unproductive. Miss Tondra, this is why in the summertime I think I get lighter colored than I am in the wintertime. Because I stay inside with the thermostat set at about 70. Okay, so I'm seeing a couple for no sentiment on the inside. Perfect. So we're going to leave that. Now we have one more decision to make on this card. Okay. Because every card, especially one as pretty as this, deserves a little bit of bling bling, right? And we'll just press that down a little bit. There we go. Okay. So there's our card, and we need to decide if we would like the sparkly gems or the dull gems. Okay. A little bit of a sparkle or no sparkle. Miss Laura, we have, oh, and Miss Tondra, we actually have a little note on the front already. Yeah, very cool. So we've got you girls covered too. All right, Miss Dawn says sparkle. Okay, I think so too. The sparkle ones are really pretty. I mean, they both are, but all right. There we go. And as you can see, I've been using my petunia pop ones because they're so pretty. All right. Do we want a big one? Do we want some little ones? Do we want them spread out? This is the part that takes me the longest. I know we've talked about that before, but this is really the part that takes me the longest, trying to figure out exactly where I want to put these little sparkles. But I think that'll do it. What do you think? That good? That's okay, darling. No worries. All right, how's that? That's a pretty quick and easy one, wasn't it? And the best part is that the bundle did all of the hard work for us. I mean, that embossing folder really is the star of the show here, isn't it? So, yeah, we've got that beautiful background embossed. And then this piece embossed and die cut with the hybrid part of it. The label is one of the dies from the set. And then stamping it on the inside and the envelope. And actually now I'm thinking, it would have been just fine to do it across the whole thing, but that's okay. Very pretty, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's not a card for fall. So I will actually go ahead and take this design. So you guys just helped me design for this month's In Color Clubs. Thank you very much. I will make another of each of the colors for each of my In Color folks. So I'll do a couple of each color so that everybody gets one, and that'll be awesome. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. All right, now, I'm not going to do that with you tonight. That would be boring. But let's go ahead and work on another project, shall we? Okay, we have this other basic white thick card base. And now I would like to try, what do they call it? kind of like the floating frame technique, except that I'm not going to make a frame. I've cut 2 sets of those die cuts because they're gorgeous. And I think that that we can put them on dimensionals and layer them around. Now, if we want to do the floating frame technique, that would be okay, and a really cool thing to do. Let's see here. Let me just see here, friends. What if we go ahead and layer these around on this? So it's another of the white layers, but this is going to look totally different, because what if we layer these around, okay, and then cut out a frame like a window here, and then stamp down something on the inside. What if we do that? Okay, let me wash off my stamp first, just in case we decide to use this stamp again. So hold tight there. All right, I'm going to set that off to the side. Let's see. How about grabbing dies here? We could do one of the stylish shapes, but I think they're a little bit too small. So I'm thinking that maybe we should do, let me get out of the embossing folders. What if we did either the deckled rectangle or I wouldn't mind to do the postage one, but I think that piece is going to be too big. We still need to have a bit of a border. So let's see. Alphabet, no. Okay, so rectangles it is. Oh, or we could do the countryside corners dies. Okay, we could do the countryside corners dies, or we can do the deckled rectangles. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a frame. Okay, so this is going to get popped up on dimensionals after we get all of our little pieces stuck on. And then this, either the countryside corners or the deckled rectangles, will be our frame. So first question is, should we use deckled rectangles or should we use countryside corners dies? Okay, so you guys decide that while I'm picking out which one I think it would be. It's about the same size. Dawn says countryside corners. Okay. All right. And deckled rectangles. You girls are killing me tonight. You're killing me tonight. All right, Miss Tondra, one of you other gals, I need a tiebreaker, please. Okay, are we doing a deckled rectangle frame or are we doing a countryside corner frame? Let me know. What are we doing? Okay, y'all are killing me. Oh my goodness, y'all are killing me. That's awful. And while y'all are deciding that, I'll lay them right there. Okay, country corners. All right, very good. You're so funny. Y'all are funny. All right, we're doing the countryside corners. We got two for one vote on it. Just keeping it interesting. Yes, indeed you are. Indeed you are. Okay. We're going to set the card base aside for just a minute. We don't need that yet. And we don't need the die yet to begin with. What we need to do first is we need to add our little die cut pieces here. Now, we can come across at angles. We can come in like this. And we don't really need to worry about the middle because we already know we're going to be cutting it out. Okay? But if you wanted to leave the middle and like put stuff in the middle, the good thing about that is that you will have a piece cut out of the middle that you'll be able to use on something else, right? So we can kind of come along and put pieces together, something like this. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly like this, but something like that. And then we're going to die cut the center out like that. Okay. All right. So let me see here. All right. I want to go ahead and pop these up on dimensionals. So we'll do this here. And I'm going to grab some of the little dimensionals because those ones aren't at risk of being cut off too badly. And we're going to go somewhere in here. Now, another thing that you could do with this, and what would have been a really good way of doing this in hindsight, is to attach a foam sheet, a foam adhesive sheet to the back of this piece of paper before we ran it through the cut and emboss machine. So that way it would have the whole thing raised up on dimensionals already. But this will be okay because we can tuck in some little spaces where we need to, and it'll be just fine. All right. So I think something like this is going to be good. We'll go there. And so let's put this one on. And this way is probably going to take another extra minute or 10 or whatever, but we'll do it fast as we can. Okay, has anybody done this kind of technique before with the floating pieces? It's a super fun technique. Okay, there we go. And let's see, where we can do big ones, we'll do big ones. One there, one there. There we go. Sherry's never done it. It actually is a lot easier if you have the forethought to do that. You know what? Let me show you because, yeah, I'm going to set this off to the side. I'll do it the hard way later. I'll do it the hard way later. Let me show you what I mean. Foam sheets. Give me 1 second, folks. Here we go. Foam adhesive sheets. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we need. And I already know because I have cut several of those pieces that I cut my base at 5.5 inches just so that I could get it all on a sheet and not have to worry about it. So I'm going to cut this at 5.5 inches here. Okay. And then I'm going to turn around and cut this in half so it'll be 5.5 by 5.5. All right. Now, The next thing you want to do is put your adhesive sheets on the back of this. And we don't need to do it at the edge because we're going to have this extra bits, right? So all of this right here, we're going to have extra, but we really want to make sure that we're putting us on the whole back. So we're going to cover the whole back of this, and yes, it does use quite a bit, but this is going to be a much easier way to do this, okay? And I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this. We'll see. Maybe I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, actually. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. We'll see if I make a mess of things. If I make a mess of it, then it will be a, hey, don't do that because that was a bad idea moment. All right, one more here. I'm going to do a little bit here. And then I'm going to do a bit across there. Okay. So I'm just going to fold it back a little bit so that way I can kind of hang on to it and bump it right up against the edge there. Oh, I want to go this way. Sorry, I want to keep it the same height here. It's actually taller on one end than the other, so keep it straight so that it's easier to cut and easier to line up the rest. All right, now I'll cut this off. This is going to make things so much simpler for us. Okay. All right, there we go. And then we're going to do this. And we'll need another piece, but that's okay, because the end result is gorgeous and it is totally worth using 4 sheets of adhesive tape for. It really is, actually. This is a really cool technique. Okay, there. And is that good? It is indeed. All right. So there we go. And still, I'm not going to take that totally off because I'll be able to have that little strip of adhesive for other things that require dimensionals. So here we go. Nope. There we go. I'm making a mess, but that's okay. You're watching it firsthand. You're seeing what to expect. Okay, and there's that one. Stay. And this one. Okay. Now, I'll set that aside for just a second, but I still need one more little section. Now, I have, where is it? This one that already has some little sections left over. So, I will take this one. There we go. That's pretty close. And I'm going to put it here. You girls are saying that you've never done it before, so this is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to love this. Okay, it's called the floating panel or the floating frame technique, and it's absolutely fantastic. Okay. All right, I'm going to trim that off just because I know I can totally use that for a dimensional. Okay. Get off me. There we go. All right, now I need to cut it right there. Now, I don't have to be careful with this because this is just going to be the outer edge. Okay, now bring the dies back in And this time it matters which way you're going to lay this down, okay? You want the paper side to be facing the die, because if you don't, then all of this beautiful texture is going to the adhesive side, and we don't want that at all. So we're going to put that down, and we're going to do this, and we're going to pray to the crafting gods that this is not too thick for a textured embossing folder, hybrid embossing folder. And so we shall see. It should be fine. It generally is, but I'm trying to decide if I had actually done this with the hybrid folders before. But it's going fine. It is snug, and you definitely want to do this one back and forth a couple of times just to make sure that you not only get that really good impression, but that you also get it cut all the way through, right? So I'm sorry you guys are seeing so much of my hand right now, nothing else, but you can see the paper is going through. So here we go. All right. Now, if I had my electric die cutting machine over here, which I do not, then I could probably have run that through a little bit easier and been doing other things in the meantime, but that is okay. So now we're going to pull this out. Okay. And look at all of that gorgeous detail that's on there. And it's already got the dimensional adhesive back here. So we're going to go ahead and pop these out nice and easy. Okay. Trying to kind of keep it intact just a little bit because I don't want all the extra stuff. I just want my little die cut pieces here. So I want the backing to stay on the sheet because I may use that for something else. All right, so there you have the die cut piece, and then it's got all of the layer and dimension already on it, and it makes it much easier to do the technique with. Okay, so let me bring this piece out. As you can see, it's kind of, it didn't go through all of the layers of the backing super smooth. I could have done it a couple more times and it would have, though. There we go. And if you have a spot where it doesn't, just come in and snip, snip, snip. Easy peasy, right? No big deal. There we go. So now that one's ready. And the big one now. What are y'all having for dinner tonight? That's totally random, but I have dinner going, actually. Oh no, look what I did. I tore it. But that's okay because it's just going to be useful to us when we're doing the little frame thing. I'll show you why. No worries here. Yeah, I started dinner earlier. I've got a nice roast going in the cooker, and I'm really excited about having roast for dinner tonight. So I've got some potatoes, and carrots, and French onion soup in it. It's going to be amazing. Okay, there's that piece and this piece. I know you're probably thinking this is too much work for a single card, but when you see the results, trust me, my friends, you are going to love it. Okay, and that's just backing, and so is that. So I'll set that one there. And then this one here, is anybody else having anything good for dinner? Or did you already have dinner? What did you have? There we go. We were supposed to have the roast last night, but Tinker Tom and I started painting the bathroom down here in his new studio, which is my old studio. And so it got late and we cheated and got quickie stuff. But anyway, now, as I said, I'm going to save these panels right here because I can fussy cut around this and all of these little bits and add them to this. So instead of cutting yet another sheet, let's see if we have enough pieces by the time we cut these out. And the good thing is, because the embossing is so detailed and so deep, we can cut around it without much trouble. Miss Tondra is baking chicken and Sherry had Chinese. Oh, Chinese sounds good. Was it Asia House? Oh, Asia House is good food, y'all. Okay. Asia House is good food. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to go way down in there because it's pretty narrow, so I'm going to just come around here. Yes. Okay. And this is just to use up these bits. Certainly, if you just go ahead and die cut the second set, then, you can save this part for later and you're not fussy cutting. I'm doing this just for the sake of not wasting anything, okay? So, it's just a way to use it up, all right? So there we go. And let's see here. The little bits on the end are perfect because you're going to put those right along the edge of the paper. So it's a great way to use up all of the little bits, literally all of them. Okay. There we go. There's a piece. And I tell you, it doesn't look like much, but when you get it put together, you'll see it goes, wow, it's really cool. Okay. There's that one. Not going to worry about that little piece. That guy was way too small. Okay. There we go. And like I said, the wonderful thing about this is I'm able to fussy cut these so easily because the die cutting and the embossing is so deep that my scissors are just following the lines of the embossing. It's really, really handy, except for the fact that it won't twist on me. There we go. Get right to the end and the paper wants to spin around. That's the way. All right. I figured out that when I'm doing my designing time and especially when I'm just cutting, the same things over and over like class prep stuff, that I can read audiobooks. And I say read lightly because obviously, I'm listening to audiobooks. And I'm really loving this because I generally don't make time to read. And it makes me sad because I used to read a lot. And so I figured out now how I can go about doing it and using the audiobook. So I love the Libby app, which is through your local library. And of course, I'm all for supporting your local libraries. And they have a huge collection of books too. And of course, you can check them out for free, just like you do with your library card. And I was listening to a book. I started it yesterday morning, and I had it finished by the end of the day, while I was still working. And the end of the book sent me flying for a loop, y'all. I thought I had it figured out. It was definitely a massive plot twist at the end. The book, let me see here. All right, so the app is right here. It's called Libby. Okay, right there. And it's really good. It's a really good app. The book is called "You Shouldn't Have Come Here," and let me see if I can bring it up. There we go. Geneva Rose, "You Shouldn't Have Come Here." And if you like thriller, mystery, plot twist type books, this one is, oh my goodness, absolutely amazing. And only one little bit of sex scene where I fast forwarded, because you. But there were some little flirty type moments, from the characters, of course, and a little bit of leading you astray in different paths of what's going on and everything else, and then the author just, completely annihilates you. I love those kind of books. Absolutely love them. So, if anybody has a suggestion for a fabulous story, I'm all ears, especially if I can read it through Libby. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying the fact that I can start reading again. I would be doing it while I'm cutting these things out if I were not on a live. Okay, there we go. All right, so as you can see, I'm getting some little bits and pieces here, and I'm thinking that I may still need to die cut another big section. I'm not sure. I'm hoping this one leaf will do it for us. Okay, there we go. Maybe this one and that one, and then we can have enough. All right. You can do this with stamped images. You can do it with alphabet. Alphabet would be really cool. Die cut a whole bunch of the letters. What is that? The mini alphabets dies. It's that one die that cuts out all of the letters. This would be such a cool technique to do with that, to make a librarian a card, for example, or a school teacher or something, or kindergarten graduation or high school graduation or something. That might be really cool. Okay, let's bring our cardstock layer back in. What did I do with it? I have got quite the mess going on here, folks. Quite the mess. All right, here's our card base. Here's our layer. And what we want to do is we want to see if we can fit, and I think that we can fit these things all over. Let's put some little ones here on the edges, somewhere in there. Okay. And the reason why I'm kind of focusing on like the whole cover is so that I can use the inside section too. If I were just focusing on the frame itself, I wouldn't have to worry about the inside, but I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to be able to give myself a frame and a layering piece. So that's what I'm hoping for here. Don't attach yet. I did not say you could go. I'm just laying these on, getting kind of a layout here to see. I think I've got enough die cut pieces, but we're just going to find out. Okay. Here we go. Like that. And then maybe like this. And here. And okay, do you guys kind of see what's going on here? I'm making the layers, the bits and pieces kind of go around. Okay, let me see. Come here, friend. Let me see if I can put you a little better. There we go. Maybe like that. All right. Are you still with me? I know it's a little tedious and weird, but hang with me, friends. It is going to be fabulous. Okay, there's that one. I may need to put this little guy, or there we go. Just do that. And then these little pieces, I just have to make sure that the edges are going on the edge, right? So I can put that way, or that one. Maybe I'll put that one there, and then that one there. That's good. I like that, because then I can use this piece for something over here. And all right. I just cut that little leaf off, so it's two stems here. Because, hold on, I don't want you attaching yet. And I can cut them apart. You're seeing that I'm just doing that. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is that big of a deal, but it's not that big of a deal. This is what's going to help us kind of fill up the space. So we want to have little gaps, but we don't need to have a ton of gaps. Okay. And then I'm going to put that one right there. And then this one right here. Yeah, I'll get you out of the way. There we go. And this one right here. And then this one right here. Okay, so I've got this laid out, and now I'm just going to take the backings off here and stick them down, and this will be a much easier process since they won't be able to slide around on us. Okay. With this one, it hangs over a bit, so I'm going to just kind of try to do that. Okay, like that. There. And then this one here. And this one. There. Okay. Right. There. Okay. Hang with me, friends. Hang with me. It's going to be worth it. There. Changing things up just slightly as I go along. Just slightly as I go along. All right, that one is going to go here. Okay. There. This one's in all the pieces. This one was done right in the corner. Okay, there we go. There we go. Just checking to see what we've got left to lock down. Okay. I want to do a little bit off that one too, I believe. There. And what are we going to fill in here? Let's see. That one's got to go in a corner. Or right there, it can go there. This one is a little piece. It can go right there, down on the end. And this one can go here. And I'm trying to just figure putting one right there. So if I cut that off, I can put that one right there, and I think that's what I will do. All right. We're almost there, girls. Almost. Okay. Here. Here. Okay. And then let's cut this one off. Keep that paper on there so we can use that for later. And we'll put this one right here. Okay. Now then, as you can imagine, we're going to cut around the edges of it. And I'm thankful for my silicone mat at this point. The glass mat is absolutely fabulous for this if you have one, because you are able to just stick your little pieces down to your mat and not have to worry about them sticking to other things. So that is a wonderful thing. I can't use my glass mat with my video because my lighting reflects off of it, and it makes a really big distraction and a pain in the neck, actually, So I can't use my glass mat, but I love that I can put my pieces down on my silicone mat and I can totally use them for later. And I'm going to keep a hold of them just for now because I'll show you when you go to cut out the frame, like this gap right here, for example, it looks good here, but once I cut out the frame, that may be on the edge and it may be weird and it may look like a weird gap. And so you may need to tuck a little something, you know, on the corner of it. So we're going to hang on to all of these little bits and pieces for now, just until we get our frame cut out. Okay, and you guys are going to love this. It's totally worth the pain in the neck and the wait. It really is, I promise. Okay, already you should be seeing that it's pretty cool. All right, we'll cut that off. That's good, that's good. Let me trim just a little bit here. Okay, I don't have to be quite so precise, but y'all know me. Okay, there we go. Now, this is the frame. Vellum taped on the mat blurs the light. Tandra, you are genius. You are absolutely genius. All right, so here we go. Let me grab all of this stuff off. Get it out of our way. I'm going to bring this in again, and this time I'm going to cut the frame. And so you can see where there might be a patch like right there and maybe there. So I'm going to line this up, center it. Okay, I think. I'm going to bring some washi tape. She knows. She's funny. She's a genius and she knows it, y'all. Okay, and let's see. I really want to make sure if I'm using washi tape here that I'm using a washi that's not sticky very much, because we have to run this through a couple of times, remember? So let me take this, and I need my other mat. And okay, one last double check. We're putting it in at an angle, of course, so that way it'll go through the machine. It'll go through the machine easier. And don't turn. Don't turn. There we go. All right, ready for the crack and crackle. Let me just do it this way so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Crack and crackle. We're going through all the layers of that foam mat and the die cuts and the cardstock. Okay, so we're going to see how it goes here. All right, let's see. Did it go through? And if it doesn't, turn it upside down and run it through one more time like that. You see it's going through, and we've got it. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to very carefully pull my tape off. Very carefully. I may have just ruined it. I may have just done it. No, there we go. I'm tearing my washi, but I don't care about that. I don't care to tear the washi. Okay. There we go. I'll use a little bit of my adhesive remover. Yes, it really is. Tandra says that big crack is very satisfying to hear. Yes, ma'am, it is. Do y'all know about these things? These little adhesive remover squares? I found mine at Dollar Tree. And yes, I know, I said Dollar Tree. Absolutely amazing. All right, now look there. We have a frame, which I need to get my washi off here. These things are super cool because they will get adhesive off of anything smooth and clean. And it is wonderful. Okay. There we go. All right. So we have our frame here, and you can see it's got all of the dimension. It's a little hard to see with that wide, isn't it? But you get the idea. All of this dimension is in there. Super cool. And then we're going to put this on our card, and this is where the magic is going to happen, I think. I think. Okay. And then we still have this piece for a layer on the card. Now, this is where I was talking about. You see that there's this gap here, and it actually cut right through the tiny edge of one of the pieces. So there isn't anything there. What I would do is I would take this little scrap and just lay it in there and then trim it off. And then guess what? It's filled up the space again, and it doesn't have this big gaping hole. Okay, so I'm gonna just go like that, and then come along here and trim. And now I have two pieces that are ready to use for whatever I want. So I can make a card with this one, and then I can make a card with my frame. And with all this work to it, bet your booty I'm going to be doing that. Right? Okay, let's get this card done, shall we? All right, the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this onto my card base. So where did my card go? Okay. Now I can actually, let me see here. You know, peach pie would be a good one. If we did, there you can see it better. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, I'm going to put this on here, and we're going to stamp something right inside there. So I need you to tell me, are we stamping this big floral cluster? Are we stamping some of this? Are we stamping this? 1, 2, or 3? Which one are we doing inside here? So just to give you an idea with the die cuts, of course it won't be the same, but you can do that one. You can do that one. Of course, it'll be stamped in there, so it's not going to show all of it. Maybe if it goes this way. Or we can do this one, which is kind of what I had in mind, like that. Tandra says the two small ones 3 times. Okay. All right, now, which color do we want to use? Because we've already used Petunia Pop, so let's choose another color. So tell me which color we should use. We've got Peach Pie, Summer Splash, Shy Shamrock, and Pretty in Pink. Peach, Splash, Shamrock, Pink. Or peach, blue, green, pink. I don't care. Whichever. Peach and splash and a small pink. Tundra! That is not what I said. You're a terrible influence. Terrible, terrible influence. Oh, dear. Okay. Shy Shamrock. Twice. All right, good. Good. Somebody's going by the rules. Okay. All right. So let's do. All right. But Tandra, you mentioned two small ones 3 times. You mean just stamp all along like a blah, 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 you know, blah, 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 like that? How about this one? In random working order. Okay. With our scrap paper, where did it go? Underneath. Oop, not that underneath. It'll be a little hard to stamp that underneath. Okay. There we go. Let's see here. All right. There. And Shy Shamrock. Here we go. How about if we do here, here, and can we get a third one? Yeah, here. Okay. Now, let's see here. Let's see. We've got the card base and we've got that, and then we do this. And then, what if we use... I don't think I like that white on there. I am not going to break out into song because ew. All right, what if... This isn't really going the way I want it to. Help, help. Okay, we got this. We got it. What if we do that right there? Yeah, that looks weird in the camera. That looks really weird in the camera, doesn't it? Ew. Do. Here we go. About... Girls, what is going on here? What a hot mess. What a hot mess. I'm not sure how I feel about that frame after we did all that work. I don't know. I'm going to turn this over for just a minute and see if that's what's throwing us off here. Yeah, I don't know that that's what's throwing us off. I'm just not sure. Huh. Okay, well, you know what? This is a prime time to tell you that sometimes when you're designing, you have this fabulous idea in mind and you go to all the trouble of doing it, and then it just doesn't quite go the way you planned. Even when you're not planning it, but to make it look good, I don't know. That's not so bad. Can we then... Okay, now I'm really thinking hard, ladies. So if you see a plan, scream it out loud, because this girl is totally out of her element just now. Okay, I'm thinking, what if I do this? And I'm going to shred my ribbon up the middle. This card reminds me of something that my late friend Tracy told me about art. She was a wonderful, creative person, beautiful heart, beautiful soul, and incredibly talented artist. And her favorite thing was to do multimedia stuff, or mixed media stuff, not multimedia, mixed media stuff. And she told me one time that your project always gets, when you're doing collage and things like this with the mixed media stuff, she said oftentimes it gets ugly before it gets pretty again. But if you keep going, you will see the beauty in it, and it will come together, and it will be like you never struggled. So I am going to hope that Miss Tracy is here with us and helping me through this, because this one's a bit odd. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this one just now. So this ribbon, as you can see, it does shred pretty substantially when you cut it down the middle. So it has everything in the world to do with the way that the fibers are lined up and the way the weave is done. And so maybe you like it and maybe you don't. I really like a shabby looking bow, but I don't know. We'll see. There we go. I'm just trying to see if this helps my cause at all. There we go. Trim some ends and see if that's giving me anything to work with. Huh. Okay. Okay, let's see here. How about we make a sentiment for this one? So I'm going to hold on to that for just a minute here, and let's see if we can't build on to what we've got. Besides the fact that I have a hot mess over here that is just piling up everywhere. There we go. Okay. We could come back to this one. Hi, Miss Patty. How are you, darling? You're seeing me in the midst of a hot mess, to be perfectly honest with you. In Cleveland, we have had 90 plus every day this week and only getting hotter. Humidity makes it feel in the hundreds. This is our fourth day and not to get cooler until the end of next week. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I would say that the southern summer has worked her way north. Holy cow. That is crazy. Okay, I have this little cluster here, And I'm thinking about putting it on dimensionals, so I will glue the frame down directly and put the leaves on dimensionals as well so that they kind of pop up just a bit. And then we can do either this kind of a sentiment frame, or we can do the circle. And if we do the circle, I kind of like the idea of turning the leaves inward a bit to offset that color, because there's not any color there to stand that off by itself. Okay, so what do we think about this? Are we thinking this is a lost cause? Are we thinking this is a hot mess? Let me see if let me see here. That looks a little better. What do you think? Do you think the background is good? I really kind of want to put something in the background. All right, let me see something here. We are definitely riding the struggle bus with this one. Okay, but you know what? That is okay. I want you guys to know, peach leaves. Tundra! Tundra, darling. Peach leaves, huh? Peach leaves with the green? Or just peach leaves, period? Are you talking about replacing the green with peach? You're killing me, woman. You're killing me. Okay. I don't know, Tundra. Are you just giving me a hard time? Is that what you're doing? Oh, the green underneath and another color of leaves. Okay, and you know what I was wondering? All right, so let me grab... What if we did... Like, okay, I know we've got that cut out, but see the embossing in there? What if we put a piece that's 4 by 5 1/4, the same as this one, through the embossing machine so that it has the the embossed layer behind it, and then maybe that patterned DSP. Ooh, you know what? We have the in color DSP, don't we? Hold on a second. Let me see. You may have just stumbled onto the thing, Tundra. Sherry says embossing green, then 2 leaves and the long sentiment. But do the leaves go in green or do the leaves go in the other color? That's the question. Look at that. Or the stripes. That's kind of cool. Indeed, we are riding the struggle bus tonight, friends. There we go. I kind of like it. just a little bit. Maybe we do the DSP the same size and then do the solid colored cardstock to make a thinner border. And then Sherry said the 2 leaves and the trim. What do you think about that one? Mm-hmm. Pattern pink DSP. Leaves side of DSP. You're liking where the bus is going now? Well, that's good because holy mackerel. This one's really struggling, isn't it, girls? I don't think we've ever had this much trouble before. The leaves side of the DSP, like that, with this. You don't think that's a little too busy? And no DSP showing around the edge? No, I wasn't thinking about DSP showing around the edge, but I was thinking about maybe putting a piece of the colored cardstock. So let me see here. This card is now officially, this card is now officially a pain in the neck, isn't it? I do like white on white also, Tandra, generally speaking. And the last card we did was similar. Let me see here. So I'm thinking like this. And I'm committing us to the green now. So we are doing Shy Shamrock. So what I'm thinking is the card base is white, right? And then the little tiny bit of Shy Shamrock border. And then maybe the stripes or the polka dots. So let's vote on that because I think this is a good direction. I think the bus is starting to finally move. Do we think stripes or polka dots for a background? And so you'll see the DSP in here, but you'll only see a border of the color around here. Does that make sense? Stripes. I think so too, Sherry. Okay. So I want this to be 4. In fact, I can make it 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's a little more narrow than my white piece. There we go. And then it can go like that. Are we liking that a little bit better? I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and add I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue here around this. Okay. And then bring it down on this piece. There we go. Okay. And then, my goodness, that was painful, wasn't it? This just goes to show, no matter how often you design cards for yourself, sometimes it is so hard. So when you see a Stampin' Up! Person, well, any artist selling their work for what you think might be a crazy amount of money, just know that things like this sometimes happen and it can create such a difficult time. There we go. How's that? That's looking better. And make it very hard for the designer to create something beautiful that you're going to be in love with. Sometimes what takes them 5 minutes to teach you took them 5 hours to plan. So, as is true sometimes, it just happens that way. So let me line this up best I can here. Come on now, don't do that to me. After all we've been through, don't do it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And would you believe I lost a piece that didn't have its adhesive backing off of it? It was right here though. This is good. There we go. Okay, let me try this again. So yeah, sometimes when I'm designing a class, and I'll only speak for myself here because I don't know, I don't want to speak out of turn or speak for other demonstrators, but for myself specifically. For example, if the Changing Leaves Stamp and Die bundle are my theme for my class, then I will put all of the stamps on blocks, and I will bring out a color scheme that I want to work with, in this case, the in colors, and I will I'll play with it until something jives. And sometimes that means abandoning a project because I didn't like the way it was going and couldn't figure out how to make it go the way I thought it should go. And sometimes it's changing it over and over and over again because what I thought it was going to be, it wasn't turning out, and just like this one. So now I think we're getting somewhere. And so now we need to decide, let's see, are we doing maybe like this? And we'll pop these up on dimensional. So they'll glue directly here, but they'll pop up so that they're level with this raised up spot. And then we can do the sentiment here, or we can do like this with the circle. I'm thinking maybe more like this. It's a little hard to see that sentiment piece, but maybe something more like this. Maybe even like that with the bow. That actually looks pretty good. And then we can still put rhinestones on it if we want to. Long strip and the bow. Okay. What do you think about the bow being right there? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, I think you are amazing in every single way is totally the sentiment that we should use for this, considering how long it took us to design this particular card. What do you think? You are amazing. It's amazing that we were able to get this card snapped into shape. Oh dear. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive back here. Okay, we'll go somewhere to that effect. All right, and then I want to put a dimensional. Where are my dimensionals now? Holy cow, there they are. Okay, we're going to put one here and one here. There we go. So it'll go like that. All right. We're still good? Okay. Now you stay stuck. Why don't you kind of offset just a little bit? All right. You stay stuck and you get glue. Okay. And then you get your backings removed here. And somewhere in here. There we go. Now let's see. I'll put just a touch of glue there and there. Okay. Holy cow, folks. All right. So we're going to stamp that sentiment amazing. You're amazing in every single way because this is super amazing. All right. Whew. Okay. Now, are we doing it in black or are we doing it in Shy Shamrock? Okay. Memento or Shamrock for the sentiment? Memento or Shamrock for the sentiment? Well, you guys are probably tired of working on this card. I am too. But it is turning out nice. It is turning out nice. There you guys go again. One Shy Shamrock, one black. Okay, very good. Two Shy Shamrocks. All right. Monochromatic it is. Okay, now where did my little mat go? There we go. Tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. And you are amazing in every single way. We are thankful that it finally came together. Okay. Holy cow. All right. Now then, bring the card back in and let's put this bad boy on some dimensionals. Now, I am going to raise it up above this piece. Clear emboss the shamrock so it shines. Tondra, listen, lady. Yes, that would be very pretty, actually. It would be very pretty, but oh, you are feisty tonight, girlfriend. Feisty. Okay, so we're going to put a little dimensional there, a little dimensional there, and oh, girlfriend. There we go. And a little dimensional there. Okay. So we have 2 layers of dimension here, right? We have this layer of dimension and we have the dimensional on top of it. So 2 layers of dimension, which means that I need 2 layers of dimension on the top part of this. Okay. So I'm going to come in between here and I'm going to put 2 layers of dimensionals. So there's my first one. Get them stuck down good. Peel the backs off in between, because if you don't, your dimensionals will not stick together. Just saying. Because if you have those backings on there, your layers will separate. And you don't want that. So make sure you take that backing off. Okay, here we go. And I don't really care if it's totally straight or not, but you do want it to kind of be lined up a little bit, so that way it doesn't make any sticky places where the top layers don't get covered. Now, this layer of dimensional and this layer of dimensional are the same height. So now your label is not going to be wonky. It is going to be even. It is going to be even across the card. Listen, friend, we are done with you tonight, so you need to quit giving us a hard time. Thank you very much. All right, very good. This is going to be like, this is the epitome of the never-ending card. Oh my goodness, isn't it? Oh gosh. Okay. All right, there we go. Super stinking cute. That's adorable. Now, let me grab a glue dot and my bow. Okay. And then we're going to put that bow right there, because, yes, so stinking cute. Holy mackerel. Y'all, can I just say, that was probably the most labor-intensive card in forever. So now the question is, do we add bling or do we leave it the heck alone? You don't have to have bling, but maybe the matte ones, just one each of the big and little one, boom, boom, right there. What do you think? You know, with card making, I think the biggest challenge for people is knowing when to stop. Knowing when to stop adding things. Now, I am a never say never kind of person, but yes, hallelujah, Tandra, hallelujah. Now, of course, we've not done the inside or the envelope. However, I plan to just put a quick little stamp along there, and that'll be good. So yeah, let's go ahead and just add, and we can see if we like it. If we don't, we can take them off. But I think just putting those there, yes, fills in that space perfectly. What do you think, guys? Holy cow. Whew. And together we all sing hallelujah, hallelujah. Okay, we got it. Very good. Now, we still have this piece. We are not doing this tonight, y'all. This card, I'm sure it wore you out. It wore me out. But I do want to go ahead and do something with the inside and the envelope, because, as we know, no naked insides and no naked envelopes. So I'm going to bring my scrap piece in here right quick, and I'm going to get my Shy Shamrock, and I need my Pierce mat. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, underneath my card. And this time, oh no, look what I forgot. I forgot that I'm not even going to worry about that tonight. I am so not worried about that tonight. Crap. Yes, I am, because otherwise I'll forget. All right, look, quick and simple fix here. Grab my thick basic white again. Cut me a background piece. Holy cheese balls, y'all. What time is it? 9 o'clock. Oh, I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin soon. I'm an old lady. I need my beauty sleep. Just put your name stamp in there. You know what? That's a good idea, but I can't stand it. I can't do that. So let me just right quick. Okay. This gives me an opportunity to show y'all another super cool little trick. If you don't know it already, Sherry says, hang it up in a frame in the studio and no one will ever know. Okay, do you know that when you glue things down, especially if you're using Stampin' Seal, that you can huff, right, in between the layers here, and it will unhinge the adhesive. If I don't pass out from it first, so there's that. Okay, doing good. There we go. Tondra can refrain from her jokes about having hot air. We'll be okay. I'm going to pass out. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get lightheaded. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I got it. See? Look, and I'm totally good. Now, I'm going to throw that bugger out of the way. I'm going to re-adhere some more Stampin' Seal to the back of this thing. And do not do that to me. Okay, and then we're going to make sure it's the right side up, because that would be the next step. And I am going to, once again, attempt to line this up in the middle. That was much easier than the last time. Okay, now we have this. So now I'm going to come back in with this and with this. And who would like this card? Would anybody like me to mail them this card, so like you can remember how long it took us to do this and see the card in person and go, oh my gosh, no wonder. Dental floss, glide dental floss between the layers. Yes, you can, Tondra. You are so right. I am going to stamp off this time, because you can see that the what's it called, Petunia Pop, it lightened up quite a bit, but I want it to be really light, right? I want it to be lighter. So I am not going to stamp it directly. I'm going to tap, 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 and then I'm going to stamp off one time. And I'm not going to stamp right there, because let me tell you what happens when you stamp over color. Let's stamp it over here, because that would be our luck. Wouldn't that be our luck, that we would do all of this work, and I've taken it off of the other backing to put it on a new backing just to get ink all over the place, or blue ink especially. That would be awful, and I might cry. All right, there we go. We have a beautiful lighter green, and I really like that. That is wonderful. And let's grab our envelope and do the same thing. Debbie feels like a dragon when she does that. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Okay, so also, you want to know how this night is going? Look at right here. I just set the paper in the ink pad. So I'm moving the ink pad up there, because that would be the next thing. There we go. Stamp it off one time, and then Stamp it here. Beautiful. Again, stamp it off one time. We're getting the hang of this. All right, there we go. Beautiful. That actually looks very, very nice. I love it. Friends, holy cow. If you're still with me through all this, then you deserve a prize patrol. So put a comment down below letting me know that you are still here. Say hallelujah. Type hallelujah in the comments. And I am going to put all of your names in a prize patrol drawing. And I will send you a gift along with this card. So you won't just get the card. I'll send a gift as well. So type hallelujah in the comments. And I will do a drawing and I will send out a gift. Thank you all so very much. Sherry says she wants this card for prosperity. This is, oh my goodness. I'm going to take a picture of this card because this is probably the one that took the longest out of, I mean, it's been a long time since a card has whooped my backside that hard. So, all right, friends, thank you all so very much for hanging out with me tonight. I have a massive, massive mess to clean up on either side of the camera view. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening and for helping me with this crazy, crazy card. And y'all have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys next Thursday with another Think Tank Thursday, and let us hope and pray that it will not be this complicated, all right? Okay, guys, bye for now.